couple years ago, I found out that my husband was cheating on me with our son's principal. My husband and I were married for 10 years. I decided that after we had our child, I did not want to be a stay-at-home mom. That was just not for me. I know that it's for a lot of females. They would prefer to be home as opposed to working. But I always wanted to make sure that I could purchase my own things, that I could be independent. In case, God forbid, something were to happen in my marriage, of course, then I would be okay. I wouldn't need for him to pay me anything. I could just take my money, he could take his money, and we would be on our merry way. Because I work so much, my husband was the one that would go to all the school events. He would drop off, pick up our son. He would just be there for conferences, pretty much everything. I always missed them. Of course, I felt really bad, but I wanted to make sure that I was making my own money. I did not want to miss my job for any reason. It was a really good job, and I made a lot of money. So because my husband's schedule was so flexible, he said, hey, I will just do everything. You don't have to worry about a thing. 6 months before I actually filed for a divorce, my husband was continuously on his phone. He would not put it down for anything at all. He wouldn't spend time with us. He just didn't want to do anything with me personally in bed anymore. And so I thought that that was very weird because we would at least do something at least once a day. So I started doing my own digging, and I found out that there was a specific number my husband was always calling and texting. I decided to call it just, private. And it was a female. The voice did sound very, very familiar, so I was pissed off. I was livid, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, I know who she is. I just don't, I can't put the name and the voice in the face. Like, I need to figure this shit out. And then I decided that I was going to start following my husband because he would always make excuses. Whenever I would get home from work, he just wanted to leave. He wanted to go hang out with his friends. He all of a sudden became very interested in co-ed softball or something like that. I thought it was weird, but I was being the supportive wife. I said, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'll be here with our child. So one day I decided to call my mom so that she could keep an eye on my son. I followed my husband, and this man went to an expensive restaurant, one that he's never taken me to because it's always McDonald's, Taco Bell, all the cheap stuff because he was a cheap fucking asshole. But yeah, he went to an expensive restaurant. I looked through the little glass door to get into the restaurant, and he was sitting down with our son's teacher. They were holding hands. They even kissed. This has been going on for a while. It's not something that they literally just out of the blue. You know what I mean? This must have been something that they have had going on for a while. I probably shouldn't have, but yes, I walked into the restaurant and I yelled and said, what the fuck are you guys doing? And she said, oh, I thought you told her. And I said, told me what? And she said, well, your husband said you guys were getting a divorce. So he said that you gave him the okay for us to actually talk and be together. He said you were okay with it. This is the very first time, coming out of this bitch's mouth, that I have heard that my husband and I were getting a divorce, because he never mentioned a divorce ever. So I told her that. She was shocked, or acted like she was shocked, and she's like, well, I fell in love with your husband. I'm sorry. All the times that he comes to the school, I fell head over heels for him. And, I'm sorry. And all I said was, you know what? Fucking take him. I don't give a fuck. It's the fact that he wasn't honest with me. Now we're getting a divorce. I mean, that's what he wanted, obviously. But yes, now we're getting a divorce. So why don't you fucking keep him?